Hey guys, it's Jules, and today we'll be doing a little bit of a different video. I wanted to revisit the Gen 2 games, but not the remakes this time. No, this time we'll be playing in the original Gen 2 games to see if we can beat them with a single Phanpy. Phanpy is great because it has a 90 base HP stat, and his attack and defense aren't too shabby either. His speed is pretty bad at 40, but will be a high enough level anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. Phanpy also gets access to a limited number of moves. We get Tackle, Rollout, Headbutt, and Mud Slap. Those are like the 4 main ones that we want. Earthquake isn't level up as it is exclusive to Donphan through level up, so we won't be able to have that until Victory Road where the TM is for it. Another thing is that Phanpy is super adorable, so it gets points for that. Honestly, I do think we can do it, but we might have to be a pretty high level. However, already looking at Lance and he has all flying types, I figure Rollout could probably get it done at a decent level. Now, I've never done an only challenge in the Gen 2 games, but I'm excited to play these games once again. It's going to be very different from what I'm used to playing, like the 3D games or the DS games. If you guys do enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I don't know why you haven't. We're here to stay, baby. So getting started, we go to Professor Elm for him to give us our starter. He does give us 3 options, but I think I know who we're choosing. Now, unfortunately for the first rival fight, I didn't level past level 5. However, he used Leer the first time, and as you can see, our tackle is doing basically nothing. We also happen to miss the tackle and then pop a berry, which we had on him, which is huge because eventually this allows us to live on 1 HP before finally taking out this little gator. Well, that was close. By the way, I did name him Fluffy, and our rival's name will be not Fluffy. Sprout Tower is annoying because there is a bunch of Spell Sprouts, but we did happen to make it through to the Elder and wiped all of his Pokemon thanks to being level 14. Faulkner was super easy as his birds do pretty much nothing to our little elephant. Also, I must say I loved back then when they had different sprites for each games and different sprites for each versions of each games. Good times. Nothing much happens on the way to Azalea Town as we can avoid most of the trainers. We did get stuck in an Onyx in Union Cave, but after wiping out and going back to the Pokemon Center, we just sneak past the hiker and on to the next gym. Bugsy wasn't too hard, it's just a tackle fest against Metapod and Kakuna, but of course with Scyther's Fury Cutter, there's really nothing we can do except just keep retrying until we get lucky. On the second try, he crits his Fury Cutter, killing us, but honestly, it probably didn't matter. Fury Cutter is a move that if you use it more, the more power it has, so we're gonna have to get lucky here. On my 4th attempt, I tried a different approach by using Defense Curl on Metapod to get a +6. This way, when Scyther is out, we can tank the Fury Cutters better, and we actually got 2 crits on Scyther, which were huge, which means there we go. Bugsy is defeated. Right after our rival, Not Fluffy, challenges us, and I actually make a big mistake. Well, it's not really a mistake, I can't really control it. See, he has a Ghastly on his team, and as you can see, we only have normal type moves. The first non-normal type move we get is at level 33, which is Rollout. So now we have to level up before we can ever progress past this point. Which means now we're going to have a level 33 Phanpy and crush pretty much a good portion of the beginning of the game. In fact, a lot of the beginning of the game. Oh, you want to evolve? Well, you can't. Once we're at level 33, we learn Rollout, and honestly, this move is super clutch for this run because it'll just run teams down like nothing. As you can see, Mr. Not Fluffy here gets absolutely destroyed. Well, now that we're a higher level than every Pokemon trainer in early Johto, we can just kill everyone in sight with this tiny little elephant. Whitney is everybody's nightmare, but little does she know that Fluffy here is hers. Now my thought process here was to Defense Curl just so Rollout could do more damage and then get a Rollout off. Her Clefairy actually did live, and as her Miltank uses her own Rollout, our second one can take it down fairly easy. This isn't the only time Rollout is going to be super useful. Honestly, I wish I could tell you guys that the trainers were giving me a challenge, but they just weren't since I was just an extremely high level, and most of them you can't avoid in Johto. I mean, what is a mandatory fight in Johto for trainers? Most of them are pretty much, you can just skip them, except for like maybe early game trainers, and maybe some gym trainers. Unfortunately, I had no choice but to be this high of a level, so nothing we can do there. In National Park, we actually come across a super useful item, that being the Quick Claw. Phanpy is pretty slow with that 40 HP, so this is great. The only downside is it never actually tells you if you pop the Quick Claw or not. So sometimes we'll just outspeed, and I'll be like, wait, that Pokemon's actually faster than us. That's interesting. The Quick Claw isn't going to really come in clutch right now, or it's not going to be detrimental if it doesn't even pop. This item is going to be more useful for the higher levels, maybe like Elite 4, when we actually do need the Quick Claw to pop. But I keep it on him anyways. I did happen to evolve Phanpy on accident, so I had to restart all the way back to Whitney, which sucked. This is why you save your game, kids. When I arrived in Ecruteak City, I did come in here, but these games are very different from the remake, so I didn't know you had to fight the Kimono Girls right now to get Surf. In Heart Gold, you just fight the Team Rocket member, and then you get Surf. But I guess I should have known. I'll be coming back here later. Now, Fluffy's fight in Ecruteak City went pretty much the same way, with Rollout just demolishing the entire team. Croconaut did live and used Water Gun, and with the curse, it brought us pretty low, but fortunately everything else is no problem. Morty's gym had me really confused, but give me a break. I haven't played these games in more than a decade. What am I doing? Morty isn't too bad at all, as we just use Rollout to take care of everything. The first Ghastly did paralyze me, and the Haunter cursed me, which was terrible because now I take damage every turn, and not only that, I did get paralyzed on Gengar. The curse is doing a lot of damage, and his Shadow Ball left us at 18 HP, and in the moment I was like, yay, we won, but I totally forgot he has 4 Pokemon. I had pretty much accepted defeat. On our second attempt, we don't get paralyzed, and the Ghastly curses instead, and a Rollout doesn't kill Haunter, surprisingly. But Gengar and the other Haunter both didn't stand a chance if we hit our Rollouts, and yep, that's exactly what happened. Moving forward to the next city, we can climb all the way up to the Lighthouse, and wow, the more I play the game, the remakes are just really different. Like, there's a whole room up here with a bed and a carpet. Since we're such a high level, nobody in the Lighthouse really gave me any trouble. Everybody right now is just a one-shot, so I wanted to head straight into Chuck's gym in Cianwood City. But as I said before, I never got Surf, and I was super confused. Eventually, I did figure out that I should probably go back and talk to the Kimono Girls, and would you look at that, we do have to battle them. Of course, they were super easy since we're 20 levels higher, so there's that. Now that we can go see Chuck, we battle him, and he leers first turn, which is fine. A couple of rollouts can take out Primeape no problem, and it couldn't do much to me. Poliwrath is scary since it does have Surf, and we didn't kill, but he didn't crit us or anything, so Chuck was a cakewalk. This elephant is proving to be quite nice. After delivering the medicine to Ampharos, we can take on Jasmine, and I knew this was going to be difficult. The Magnemites are no issue, but Steelix is level 35 and has Iron Tail. The good news is Iron Tail is already inaccurate as is, so we can try to use Mud Slap here to lower her accuracy even more. Basically, we just have to get lucky here, and on our first try, we're almost there, but she had a Hyper Potion, which means we couldn't quite get the KO. That sucks since we could have potentially done it first try. I did try a different approach with Rollout, but we take too much damage from Magnemite and get confused from him as well. Also, Iron Tail can lower defense, so that's not good. I tried a couple more times, but like I said, we just have to get lucky enough for her to miss all of her Iron Tails, or at least 1 or 2. Eventually, after about 3 more tries, we do our little Mud Slap strat, and she sends out Magnemite as her second Pokemon for the first time. Steelix has come out second every time I've attempted this. Well, anyways, all that left is that Steelix, and we got pretty lucky, and she started missing. Once she was in Hyper Potion range, I tried rolling out, but it's just not worth it since Steelix's defense is so high, and it resists it. She was missing pretty much every Iron Tail until she hit one, and during this fight, we actually got 2 crits, which was nice. We managed to take her out, and that is our 6th gym badge. This tiny elephant managed to kill a huge steel snake. Impressive, Fluffy. Impressive. From here we go to the Lake of Rage, and every trainer is half our level, so no issues there. The Team Rocket hideout was up next, but honestly it was a breeze. No one gave us trouble, nor did they make it double. If you understand that reference, which you should, you get a cookie. Also, I love how they use this sprite for the Team Rocket girls. I don't remember her name in the anime, but it's a nice touch. This ice puzzle was really annoying to figure out, but once we do, we face this old man and his seal. We get a big crit headbutt to start the battle, and we tank an Aurora Beam from Dugong. 2 rollouts are enough to put him in his place. Now, Rollout wasn't able to take out Piloswine, however, it just went for miss, so this battle is pretty much taken care of. Sorry, old man. You just had to pay the price. Get it? Because his name is I'll let myself out. Now, after a ton, and I mean a ton of Rocket business, we battle not Fluffy again, and this time he was annoying with his Supersonic Golbat, but Headbutt took it down easily. Fraligator didn't do anything to us as we flinched it, but it's going to be a nice 3-hit KO. Everything else on his team is just really embarrassing to say the least. He couldn't even get us down to half our health. Everything after this is super easy considering we're, oh you know, level 53? We did get burned from this admin, but let's be real, we weren't even close to dying. Also, stop trying to evolve, Phanpy. It's not gonna happen. Not that anyone cares, but this puzzle took me about 10 minutes to do. I don't know why I couldn't do it. I was pretty close to quitting the challenge altogether because of this minor inconvenience. I'm not kidding. Surprisingly, Claire gave me a bit of trouble, and it's because her Dragonairs have Surf and of course Kingdra, hello? But yeah, we could get past both Dragonairs, but we'd just be too unhealthy to live from Kingdra. I didn't reset my game here, I kept dying to level up, and I didn't realize how much money they rob you of if you lose a battle. I lost 60,000 Poké Dollars by losing like 6 times. How? On my second turn, I happen to get a crit headbutt on the first Dragonair, and I take an Ice Beam on the second Dragonair. We were sitting good, but she used Smokescreen, headbutt doesn't do anything to her, and on top of that, Surf brings us super low. Oh, and we missed. This proceeded to happen a couple times, and it was really frustrating, but fun at the same time because I finally came across a roadblock, even though I was 15 levels above her team. Eventually, I thought my best bet was that we defeat both of the Dragonairs, hopefully getting a crit on one, and then use Mud Slap for Kingdra and get lucky enough for her to miss every single Surf except maybe one. Headbutt also has a chance to flinch, so there's that. Eventually, we pulled through by getting a flinch turn 1 to kill the Dragonair. For her second one, the Ice Beam did about 20%, and we could take that one out. Now we just use Mud Slap and pray. She goes for a Smokescreen, and there we go, she misses turn 1. Now I just continued to Mud Slap to lower her accuracy. She did hit one Surf, but I knew she was in range to take down, so I went for Headbutt. But folks, it's not over. I still had one more Dragonair to face, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to get seriously lucky. Well, we did. We got a flinch Headbutt, and that paves the way to success. That could have actually taken me way longer, but thankfully our sanity is okay. There's no trainers in Victory Road except for our rival, so we didn't have any setbacks. Even our pathetic excuse for our rival couldn't do much to us. I didn't even grab the Earthquake TM yet. Like, this was a crit water gun and it didn't do anything to me. Like, they couldn't have given him Surf? Nah, that would make too much sense. After that fight, I made our way downstairs for our most powerful move alongside Rollout, Earthquake. I just got rid of Defense Curl because the odds of me using it with Rollout are pretty much 0, and well, here we have it. We made it all the way here, and going into this, I knew I wasn't going to make it through the Elite Four with just a level 60 Phanpy. But of course, I decided to give it a go. Off the bat, Will is just a lot of RNG because of the Confuse Ray, and oddly enough, for some of my Heart Gold runs, this is the case. Usually Will is always the hardest for me because of the Confuse Ray and the way to get around it. It actually took me a couple of tries before getting it right just to defeat him. The good news is all we have to do is get lucky with Xatu, and the rest of the team is pretty much dead because Rollout is just that good of a move. I did try a couple more times, but many of the attempts were just us getting confused or dying to Ice Punch from Jinx. I think Jinx also had a chance to outspeed, so Quick Law needed to activate. Alright, here we go. He confuses us first turn and Psychics the next. Luckily we do break out both times and 2 Rollouts can get this Xatu out of here. We're already at half our health and we have to take on Jinx, but remember how a long time ago I got that Quick Claw? Well, boom, we got the Quick Claw activated. One single rollout is enough to KO Jinx, Executor, and man was I surprised by this one, but Slowbro as well. Our reign of terror with rollout was over, so we can't knock Xatu out in one hit. I decided to use Headbutt instead, and we couldn't even do half to him. Of course we're dead here, so wait, 1 HP? And we got a higher roll on the Headbutt, so we beat Will after so many tries. Now I know we can't beat the Elite Four with a just level 60 Phanpy, or maybe we can, but either way I wanted to see how far we could get. I guess with a little luck we could do it. I take on Koga and I try the rollout strat again. Very good news is that the first 2 Pokemon are bug types, so these 2 are dead easily. Fortress does use Protect, which is fine since we have EQ now. We happen to get a crit, and that did matter by the way. Once Crobat comes out, I do the rollout strat again, and after 2, he's down and out. I didn't think Muck would die to a 3rd rollout, but we got a crit, so that was good. Unfortunately for Koga, there's no way we lose the fight unless it's from Toxic, which actually did happen one time. And Bruno is also another one who is just winnable pretty much 100% of the time. Bruno's Pokemon can't touch me, and Earthquake does a ton of damage to all of his Pokemon. It doesn't make it better that Hitmontop went underground either. If you don't know, if you use Dig, you can still use Earthquake. The only scary one could be Machamp with Cross Chop, but not really. Yeah, I don't know how we could ever lose this fight in any universe. I was, however, super surprised that after Will, everything is easier. For Will, you just have to get lucky, and that's it. The entire E4 is a cakewalk for Fluffy. Karen is annoying with Sand Attack Umbreon, but I haven't really been missing, so nothing to really worry about. Vileplume actually lived in Earthquake, and to my surprise, Moonlighted, but it as well met its fate. Murkrow has like no defenses, so that's a joke and a half. Gengar has no Levitate in Gen 2, so EQ is a one-shot because it's super effective, and of course Houndoom dies as well. On one of the attempts, I also lost to Karen on Houndoom, so that's a possibility if you're wondering. The Flamethrower will actually add up, so we have to be somewhat healthy. Well, we made it all the way here. Now here's the thing about Lance, guys. Every Pokemon on his team is a flying type. And what move carried us through the entire game? One that is super effective and increases in damage every time you use it. So that's the strat, Rollout. However, it isn't 100% guaranteed because his first Pokemon is Gyarados, and that can surf if it wants to, and one Rollout just will not kill. Unless it's a crit, I guess. We do need some luck, but let's see. Basically, I need him to use Rain Dance, and it does, which is huge, but yeah. We missed a big rollout and he surfs, which actually did less than expected. Our second rollout obviously doesn't kill, and his surf got a higher roll, and that's the attempt. See, it is possible to lose that even though down to the strat, Lance isn't hard at all for Fluffy. Now we gotta go through Will all over again. Now I know that I can beat the entire league with a level 63 Phanpy, but I did not want to go against Will's shenanigans again, so I did level up to level 65 to see if it would make him a little bit easier. It in fact did not. At the end of the day, it was still just down to luck on Confusion and Quick Claw for Jinx, and then the final Xatu as well. Eventually though, at level 68 to keep my sanity, it made it a little easier, and we crushed it with just 76 HP left. I won't bore you with what happens to the rest of the Elite Four since they're all like 99% guaranteed to win, especially since now we're level 68. So let's just go straight into Lance, shall we? By the time we get to the Dragon Tamer himself, we're level 70. 7 higher than before, which I don't think is needed to beat Lance at all. But again, I just didn't want to go through Will after I went through Will like 10 times. Again, we roll out once and he goes for that Rain Dance. Then we crit, which didn't matter for the KO. And Dragonite comes out, and I'm pretty sure this is the one with Blizzard, because why wouldn't it be? Rollout is just too powerful at this point, as both Dragonites just get absolutely destroyed. Once Aerodactyl comes out, we actually miss a rollout, but he can't do anything to us, so we power up and roll away until he's dead. And you can imagine from here, his last two Pokemon just don't stand a single chance at all. Rollout strats are just too OP, Lance. Consider getting a Steel type. Well, normally I would say that's the end of the video, guys, but Kento in the originals is even easier than in the remakes, which is saying something since the remakes are super easier as well. I mean, seriously, Janine has her Pokemon in the 30s. I don't want to make this video super long, so I'll just tell you guys pretty much what happened for each gym leader in Kento, if anything at all, since we're just extremely high of a level. So hopping on the SSN to go to Kento, I couldn't figure out how to move this guy blocking the way. Apparently I forgot to fight one dude, and this made me waste a lot of time. Once we do arrive in Vermilion City, I waste no time and take on Surge, after trying to do this non-existent puzzle for about 5 minutes. Yeah, there's no gym puzzle here. You can just battle him. As you can imagine, this fight was a breeze thanks to Fluffy's Earthquake. And that's how a lot of these gyms are going to be like in Kento. Like I said, they're also super low level. Even if I was in the 60s, it would still be easy. Immediately after Surge, I take on Sabrina, and I kid you not, I did this puzzle in one try without fighting a single trainer. I never know where I'm going. I went to the first thing I thought made sense, and boom. I made it in about 2 seconds. She only has 3 Pokemon, so EQ also took them all out in one shot. Erica actually gave me some trouble because I decided to do some rollout strats and, well, got put to sleep while Tangela just Giga Drained me. Obviously at this point I'm just too weak to fight Jumpluff, so let's try again. I don't know if EQ is more damage here than a Headbutt, but I go for a Headbutt and it crits, so that's nice. Everything else is pretty much dead. Jumpluff is Jumpluff, Victreebel is neutral to EQ, and Blossom just used Sunny Day the first turn. I decided to fight Janine next since the cycling road is just to the left of this town, and this was the easiest gym by far. I don't know why her Pokemon are in the 30s, but yeah, nothing to see here. I went to go fight Misty next, but she wasn't home, so I had to do the whole power plant mission. with the rocket grunt. Since we fixed the radio doing that, I actually went to Diglett's cave to wake up the Snorlax, which led me going into Diglett's cave to take on Brock, which, yeah, wasn't an issue at all. All of his Pokemon are weak to ground type moves, so yeah. Now we can battle Misty after interrupting her date, and to humiliate her even more, we proceed to one-shot everything on her team. Good job, Fluffy. Will you stop trying to evolve, damn it? Apparently they couldn't code Blue to just walk away from us, so instead he just teleports away like some wizard. I totally wasn't expecting him to just walk away like how it is in Heart Gold. Do I even have to explain how Blaine went? So Blue was someone who could have given me some trouble since he's the only one who was a high enough level, but to my surprise it wasn't too bad. He starts off with a Pidgeot and I just went for rollout strats for the billionth time. 2 of them are enough to KO, and fortunately Gyarados comes out next, which is weak to that, so the third one is also enough to KO. Now from here, Exeggutor just dies, and of course Alakazam also dies in one single hit. Our rollout is done, but it doesn't matter because his last 2 Pokemon are actually weak to Earthquake. Arcanine is no more, and Rhydon couldn't even see the light of day. Oh, how I love rollout. Oh no, I don't think so, Phanpy. Now there's just only one thing to do. Battle Red. This was definitely going to be tough as he's the highest level trainer in the game in the 70s aside from Pichu. From Pikachu. not Pichu. It's a Pikachu. I took it out with an Earthquake, but directly after he sends in Venusaur. It does Solar Beam, which has to charge up before he can use it, and Earthquake can do some damage, but the following turn, it's just over for Fluffy. I knew I couldn't beat him at the level I was at, so I trained Fluffy here to level 90. Unfortunately, this just wasn't enough because Pikachu actually has Charm, and that'll harshly lower our attack. Plus, Venusaur just hits way too hard. I tried it out a couple times, and any attempts where I got charmed, I just reset immediately because it wasn't worth it. Now, if I did happen to get past Venusaur by critting it or popping the Quick Claw, Blastoise could still use Surf and kill us. Also, Espeon would just Psychic us if we got past Blastoise. Eventually, I decided to level up 5 more levels, and it didn't do much because we still had to get extremely lucky with some crits and maybe some flinches. At one point I even got the Charizard, but I just couldn't take 2 flamethrowers. Finally though, after many attempts, we didn't get charmed by Pikachu because it missed. Venusaur used Sunny Day, so we killed it without having to take any damage, and then Blastoise is up. I used Earthquake and got him to the yellow. Since the sun was up, he used Rain Dance, allowing me to kill him. I outspeed the next turn, and that's it. Everything was going great, until for the first time, Espeon decided to use Reflect instead of Psychic. I didn't even know it had Reflect. We did half, and a second one can take it out. Now since the Reflect is up, our Earthquake did nothing to Snorlax, but fortunately for us, he only used Amnesia. That Reflect is pretty crucial because this is a 4-hit KO and his Body Slam got us super weak. Basically, we're dead here to Charizard's Flamethrower, but yup, we actually got a crit, which did in fact matter. I guess I could have used Rollout on Snorlax before it died and maybe it would have killed since the Reflect wore off, but who knows. And that's it, we beat the entire game using just this single Phanpy. Phanpy was really fun to use with the rollout, especially on lands. Our ending time was 16 in-game hours. But this actually only took me 4.5 hours to complete in real life. The thing is, Kento was super fast, only being like 30 minutes, and well, yeah. I have a newfound appreciation for this elephant. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's not what I usually do, but I had fun making it. Like and subscribe and whatever else you want to do, and I will see you guys in the next one. Seriously, subscribe or I'm going to come into your house at night and